This is Courage Barbell. I'm your host, Chad Ikes. Kind of wing this episode right here. Something I've been thinking about and talking about with some of my clients and some friends that I've helped coach a little bit lately. Intent and the mind-muscle connection. I never competed as a bodybuilder, but that's how I learned, because when I started lifting, that's all the information I had. So that's what I read. That's how I started, was basically doing bodybuilding programs. I'm fortunate enough to know some high-level bodybuilders, some pro guys. I have the utmost respect for what they do. It's absolutely amazing to me. But one of the most impressive things about bodybuilders is the mind-muscle connection that they have. And I'm glad I learned the way I did with bodybuilding, because it helped me to develop that mind-muscle connection. It helped me to focus on exactly what muscle I was using during each exercise to get the most out of that muscle, which in turn made me want to know, well, wait a minute, what does this exercise work? What am I supposed to be working? And it allowed me to focus on that. That allowed me to, in turn, have the ability to really put intent into every movement. As I got into physical therapy, as I continued my learning, and I learned about correct movement patterns and how the body's actually supposed to work, now I had this control of these individual muscles, and everything kept taking and going further and further and further. And I think that's something that I see, a mistake I see in a lot of lifters, especially younger lifters, hell, even some of the older lifters. They never took that time to build that mind-muscle connection. They don't really have any intent in how they train. They confuse intent with intensity. If you're doing a row, as an example of an exercise I see performed incorrectly all the time, except like pro bodybuilders. Pro bodybuilders are very good at they can even do the movement that could be a little off, but they're doing it off because they know that for them, that's going to hit that particular muscle that they want. But I see people come in to do rows and they're like, oh, I can row so much. And I go, yeah, but you're not working your middle back. Like, yeah, you're kind of working your lat, but even at that, you're not working as good as you could. So you're missing a bunch of muscles by doing an incorrect movement. And yes, you're lifting a lot of weight, which helps your ego, but you're not really working what you should be working. And that's not having the intent. That's not having the mind-muscle connection. That's just going, meathead, I'm going to go in and train. And guys that are flexing every muscle in their body to do a curl. Or guys that are doing, like a face pull, and they're flexing everything except what they're supposed to be flexing. It's very, very important that we know that we set up, that we picture in our mind's eye that the particular muscle that we're trying to work. So if I'm doing a face pull, I know my main goal is rhomboids, middle and lower traps. That's my main thing. I'm going to work some of my rear delts. I'm going to work some of my external rotators. But those are like a byproduct of kind of what I'm really trying to hit. So when I'm doing those, I'm very, very focused on the scapular traction, squeezing those rhomboids, squeezing those middle traps, using those lats to pull my shoulders down. And I'm actually picturing in my head, I'm picturing those muscles flex as I'm actually flexing them. And I'm really trying to feel, can I feel just those rhomboids flexing? Can I feel those middle traps flexing? And I'm really trying to focus and really trying to hit those muscles. I'm not tensing everything up in my body. I'm tensing up what I need to, like my core's tense to keep my position. My root is tense, but only enough to keep me stable. I'm not flexing my biceps really hard going, I'm relaxing my biceps. My grip. I have my grip on the bands or ropes or whatever I'm pulling. And then everything else, everything is relaxed except what needs to be flexed. And the other things that are flexed only to the extent that they need to be in terms of stabilization. So this all of it ties hand in hand, that mind-muscle connection. That's the intent. And then the intent also is intensity. but it's intensity with those muscles. With a face pull, I'm not worried about doing a shit ton of weight. I'm worried about how much force can I generate? How hard can I go bam? Bam! I mean, how hard can I get those rhomboids to go poof? Can I actually smack my shoulder blades together? That's the intensity that I'm looking for. It's not about this crazy muscular, how much energy can I waste? It's like, no, how efficiently can I do this movement? How intense and how far can I push the particular muscles that I'm trying to work? It's so frustrating to me to go into gyms and see people just randomly do shit with horrible technique, not even working the muscles. I mean, curls are one. There's guys that can curl and cheat curl, and they have that good mind-muscle connection. I know bodybuilders that cheat curl and still get tons out of their biceps. And then I go to the gym and I see guys going, good, good, good. And when they're done, their anterior delt is probably pumped to shit. Their bicep really didn't even get that much work because they don't have that mind-muscle connection. They don't have that intent. They're using every other goddamn muscle in their body to try and get that weight up because they were more worried about getting the weight up than performing the exercise correctly. If you're an athlete, and powerlifters are athletes, your goal is to be on that platform and do well. If you're a football player, your goal is to perform on that field. We're in the gym to assist that performance. We're in the gym to train. We're not in the gym to see how much I can curl. I'm not in the gym to see how much weight I can face pull. I'm not in the gym to see how much I can do a tricep extension with. How much can I bench press? So when I'm doing the particular exercises that are supposed to help increase my bench press, I need to know what I'm supposed to be working. I need to have the mind-muscle connection to work that muscle. I need to have the intent to be focused and know what I'm doing and know why I'm doing it and know how I'm doing it and picture it in the mind's eye to make sure that it's actually working and having control of those specific muscles. I see a lot of meathead guys who they have horrible muscle control. Everything fires at once because that's what they've done. They went into the gym and they make noise and they grunt and groan and they throw weights around and they never actually understand what they're doing or do it correctly. And like I said, that's where I go back to bodybuilders are as big as they are and they're so specific about each little muscle group because they have years and years of lifting with intent. There's some bodybuilders that go a little crazy. You know, Ronnie Coleman was up there. He was exciting to watch. But he had intent. He knew what he was working. And then there's other guys, and I've seen huge bodybuilders that, like, when they're training, you're like, wow. Like, you barely even see anything in their face. But they have crazy intent. They have crazy intensity. You're just not seeing it. Because they're thinking in here and they're thinking about that specific muscle that they want to work. And they're putting all their effort, all their energy is going directly into working that muscle. So you're like, man, that guy's not grunting, he's not groaning, he's not making faces. But that dude is huge because he has intent and because he knows what he's doing. So I want to kind of flip the perspective on a lot of the athletes that are lifting now and go, listen, all the strongest guys in the world that I know are very intelligent about strength training. Maybe there's other aspects of their life where they're not as intelligent, but they're intelligent about strength training. They didn't get there because of genetics or just because of willpower or just because they worked hard. They got there because they're smart, because they know what they're doing, because they've listened to their body, they've learned their body, they've learned how to control their body. They know how to move it. They know what muscles move it. They know how to flex just that one muscle if need be. So I want to get rid of that meathead mentality. I want lifters to be intelligent and be proud of being intelligent. Be proud and know what they're doing. So this video is just about changing perspective. It's about having the intent and understanding what intent is, about the mind-muscle connection, about knowing your body and moving your body correctly and knowing how your body's supposed to move. Strength is a long-term goal. Nobody gets super strong in a year. All the top guys that I know have anywhere from 10 to 20, 30 years of training under their belt. It didn't happen overnight. As much as people want to think it did, it doesn't. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes years and years and years. The more you can learn, the more efficient you can be, the faster you can get to the higher levels. And that's why I do videos. I made a lot of mistakes. I could have got where I got a whole lot sooner if I didn't have to make so many mistakes. But that's how I learned, and there wasn't access back then like there is now. And this is why I'm out here coaching. I'm never going to compete on the world stage again. I'm never going for all-time world records again. But I have a ton of knowledge, and I love this. I love this sport. I love lifting. I love coaching this stuff. So I want to help people to be able to get further than I did, and be able to get there faster than I did, and be able to get there with even less injuries than I had, and have them be healthy. I'm almost 50 years old. I have no real joint problems. I somehow managed to be one of the best lifters in the world, and I'm 50 years old and I'm still healthy. That should be the goal right there. Not to destroy ourselves, but to be insane and break records and be a top lifter, and then move on to the next part of our life still healthy, still strong, still doing well. All right, guys, I've talked enough. Please follow my Instagram, Chad Ikes. Like I said, please like, subscribe, share, comment, blah, 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 blah. And I will see you guys next time for hopefully some more great information, some more stuff you guys can use to help keep getting better, meet your own goals, and become better lifters, better people, and live a better life. I'm out.